Okay. Action. Action. I have finally found the second hero that I would like to cover on the channel, other than Kano. That's Gravy Bones Shipwrecked Looter. His picture is down below my camera. As his ability is instant, we found out this means tap, destroy a gold you control, draw a card, then discard a card. If a blue is put into your grave this way, this turn, you may play cards with water grave from your graveyard. He is a 4 intellect, 40 health pirate necromancer hero. What draws to my attention with the limited cards that we have is just necromancer, as when I play any games where magic's involved, if necromancy is an option, I like to play that option. None of the illusionists brought my attention, as they are an ally-based decks as well. Dromai was like the closest one of me vibing out with them. Right now, we don't have a lot of cards revealed. Regardless, I already like what I'm seeing, as it is an interesting way to play with allies, as Prism, and like I said, Dromai has not really given me that same vibe, and this seems like a deck that will be difficult to pilot, and I like to suffer, not quite like a masochist, because I do play Kano, which is a difficult deck to play. So this I'm liking due to just the pure art aesthetic of Necromancer and some of the shenanigans that we can get up to in the deck. Right now, this is just a pure speculation deck. I'm going to go over what is likely to happen, the color count, and what I would like from the deck moving forward. So what we have this deck being, if you join the purple Discord and then go into the gravy one, you'll see that a lot of us are talking about the blue count. We have settled on it's going to be 30 plus due to the consistency of wanting his hero ability to activate on this portion. A blue card goes in the grave and potentially unlock our water grave cards. The downside with water grave cards is that they do not block, unlike some other illusionist cards like Dromai. Their backside can block. So we have to find ways to get our water graves into the grave, because if they're on the battlefield and go to the grave, they go face down into the grave, which means they can't be targeted by anything. Right now, our only real way is discard mechanics. So with Rowdy Locals, Call by the Grave is another one. We do have Chart the High Seas, which is fairly important. Some potential cards that we have is Trade In. But let's get back onto the topic. He is an ally-based hero. Some of our allies here are Chum First Mate, which is fantastic for absorbing life to keep us steady. And if we look at our other allies, this one's a little bit more aggressive, but you'll see a trend. There it is. There's the other one. There's a trend. There's no base go again on playing the card, and there's no go again on their attacks. So we have twofold problem. We have a light on block, because we're going to be running another bare minimum 6 allies, like another 6 here. So it will be fairly dense on yellows and blues. And a lot of our blues might be 2 block or light on block in general, depending on how and what gets revealed. And the other dilemma is lack of action points. We don't have any on our base cards. The compass does allow us to have go again on cast of the first one. So we have that going for us. But the first initial attack, we do have some go again, not on here, but with Command the High Seas, or CNC, with this verbiage, C. This gets go again as long as we have 2 blues in our pitch zone, which with the high threshold that we have, we're more than likely to have that on hand, as our reds are going to be low. Our reds have to be high premium. I'm thinking they're going to have some sort of evasive damage like overpower, or just have high attack. Like this will be 8 attack with 2 blues in our pitch. some ways that we can mitigate some action points is with cards like Lead the Charge. If we play a card with cost 2 or more, we gain an action point, so a pseudo go again. Some other ways is cards like Trade-In, we get the discard, and if we play it from Arsenal, we get the go again from there, allowing us to do so. Sigil Cycles, I think, is going to be a staple depending on what else gets revealed, as we get a blue card, and we can discard one of our cards in the grave, which was our other fallback, is getting our water grave cards into the grave. I'm not sure how aggressive this deck is going to be, because I said due to action points. And this is what I was just thinking of, some decent blues, like here you discard a blue immediately, you don't even have to play it. Some other cards that the Discord have been thinking about is Back Alley Breakline for Call the Grave targets, and or the Chart the High Seas. We can get it into the grave from the deck. That stipulation is that it has to be sent from. Let's just read it. If an activated ability or action card effect puts Back Alley Breakline face up into a zone from your deck, gain an action point. So yeah, Call the Grave and Chart the High Seas is how we would get that activated. Blues would probably be the only ones, due to the fact that we would get a blue in grave, we would get our action point back, turn on Call by the Grave. Our reds are going to be very premium, so I put this in the maybe due to us not really getting anything out of this, like a Sink Below or a Fate. We get to opt or swap a card in hand at least, whereas this we are down an ally, because you can only untap at the end of your turn is how we're describing it, till we get a rules update. If it's at the end of both turns, then this is a much better block than maybe Fate or Sink, as it becomes a 5 block consistently as long as you have an ally. Potentially we might just, if we have a lower curve than we initially thought, we might have to play the yellow or red Lead the Charges to get those action points. Rally the Rearguard is a decent one. Just pick your color. We're not sure which ones are going to begin. We're going to lean towards blue because we're going to need the resources. This allows us to give it +3 once per instant on the defending phase. So if we have an instant speed way to play a Watery Grave, this goes up in stonks as this becomes a 5 block, and we get a potential Watery Grave card in grave, or discard the blue to activate potentially a instant speed. Another action point economy card is here. The next attack with cost 0 or higher gets go again. There was a revealed card that I did not put in here. It was, I believe, a generic sale. I can't spell. Break. Cut. Action. For some reason I thought it was sale, but it's a Fly High. Not sure how many of these there are. They are also 2 blocks, so we're already short on blocks as well. This gives us go again on the attack, and more than likely it's going to be the yellow or blues to ensure that we get the resources we need again and match the attack. Whereas if it's our attacks are rigor mortis, it would get +1 if we played the yellow version, so 6 attack for 1 with go again. That's pretty good. Or if we just have such a high threshold of blues, it doesn't matter how we get the go again, and we have a decent amount of blue attacks, we can do it this way, which would be decent on Trade-In. It'd just be a 2 for 1 go again that we could play from hand instead of Arsenal. That way we can still get the draw and discard. So I'm going to put for sure the blues in the deck, and we'll put the rest into the maybe, the yellow in the maybe. We do have access to this now. Diamond Amulet is going to be a generic action. It's going to be an item. Instant speed, destroy this, gain an action point, and it does have Watery Grave. So we only get 1 use out of it if we play it from hand or from the grave. We only get 1 use out of it because once you break it, it goes into the grave face down. So unless we get some flip face up interactions, we might have to run Time Snap Potion, which is again a non-block, which is something we're difficult with. And I'm still looking at gold activation. We'll move on to that. So far, the only real good gold activation here is gold baited hook, and our attack has to hit to get a gold. So we can guarantee one if we have evasive attacks. That's what I'm saying. Our Attacks have to be very aggressive in the red side, like being for 8 or having overpower to ensure that they do hit. As our allies do not have currently any evasion on them. This is just a 6 attack. This is a 6 attack. This is a 4, which is covered by 2 cards on each of these. So we can't guarantee it from that. We might have to see things like maybe performance bonus, cut, action. Some cards that we might have to play is performance bonus, as it is a blue card that we can go again off being an arsenal. This just requires us being super slow, as we're going to IP this card, essentially put it into arsenal to get the gold. State gold, you only get 1 if you currently don't already have one and it has no go again. So you would have to pop a time snap potion or a lead the charge in red just to get the go again. If not, call by the grave. So we're just hurting for go again options. And even trot along that gives go again to an attack with 3 or less. We've seen that all of our attacks are above 3 as of current, unless we're counting our blue attacks, which we could. So we play our blue, this goes to the grave. We play another blue, like trade in or performance bonus. And if we're on the trot along performance bonus and trade in line like this, some janky low attacks, I could highly see Rotten Remains being good against the assassin matchup, or maybe some Iros that are doing some interesting stuff, as they might be running some blue, a bunch of blues that are 1 attack, because I've seen them play looking for a scrap, so we can do some sort of counter interaction with them. We'll have to see how those decks develop. But we honestly don't have a lot to go off of, other than knowing that we are going to be a high blue count deck, probably 30 plus. So at 34 right now. All that we have space for out of the 60, so we're at 50, so we have 11 cards. Like I said, if we get another 3 playable allies, that's 6. And then the rest is hopefully some premium reds that actually do something for us. Because if everything else is spoiled, I highly doubt that the cards will be bad. It's just whether or not they are synergistic with the game plan. Like, we're going to have pirate cards. Are they going to be good with Gravy and the other heroes? Or are they going to be like this one? I think might lean towards more Gravy and the Marlin on the cannon build, as they're going to need lots of blues to be able to do something like this. I'm not a whole lot of sure what the mechanologist is going to be doing in regards to resources, as it looks like they're going to be playing a lot of items. So I don't know if High Tide's going to care as much about that. If they can make High Tide being able to play as the items that they are. So if, well, I know for sure if you want to play Gravy, you're going to need Call by the Grave at some point. As of right now, we don't see what's going on. But this is literally the best card in the deck to turn on your hero ability as a blue card enters, and you can guarantee that the card is a watery grave card. So whatever one you need, I'm going to recommend the Armory deck regardless of what's in it. There's going to be something in there that is exclusive to it, so you're going to need that. If not, stay tuned to the channel, as I will be covering major updates like when the deck comes out and we get the full set spoilers. So sometime after the world release, I'll be covering Gravy again. Until then, I will be doing Kano content as well. Stay subscribed. Thank you for watching. Bye.